It is 2025. A lot of people are retooling, buying gear for the year ahead. I thought I would go over some of the differences in the ways to buy gear, mainly concerning the two biggest ways that I get gear, Amazon and B&H. Now, I'm an affiliate of both of these, and if you click on links in the descriptions of my videos, depending on which one is a better deal and which one has that item, I link to both of them. So the first way that the two stores differentiate are choice. Obviously, Amazon has millions and millions of items. It has brands that B&H doesn't have. Because more people buy on Amazon in other things, you can see how many people are buying a particular item. So 200 sold this month, 2,000 sold this month, which sort of forms its own way of reviews. What more people don't know is that B&H actually has brands that aren't sold on Amazon. These are ones that B&H owns, like Generay and Impact. They tend to be really good value for money, and they're only available at B&H. This tube light here, for instance, is a Generay tube light. And of all the tube lights that I own, it's one of the most reliable and the brightest and costs the least amount of money. While Amazon may have more products, fewer of them are vetted, whereas the ones that B&H sell tend to be, because B&H also provides service, which we'll get to in a minute, tend to be more reliable, and the brands that B&H does sell are far less likely to, break the first time you use them. Another element of choice is that you will find that most high-end items aren't sold on Amazon. Only really the consumer cameras and prosumer cameras are sold on Amazon, whereas if you want to buy the higher, more professional versions of cameras and lights, you'll need to get them on an authorized reseller like B&H. Canon, for instance, Amazon has the R5C, but not the C80, C400, C300 Mark III, and all those guys, the higher end. So while Amazon has more choice at the low end, B&H has far more choice at the high end. In fact, it's the only place you can get these things. As far as price goes, the two are pretty much equal. You'll find the same item for the same price on both websites. Now, both B&H and Amazon have proprietary or like house credit cards. Amazon gives you 5% back. I have it actually, the Amazon Amex. But the points that you get, you can only spend on Amazon. Whereas B&H has a thing called the Paybu card that if you use it to buy your B&H purchases, you actually get them tax-free without the sales tax. Depending on where you live, this can be between 8 and 12%. So on a $5,000 camera, it can be like $300 and $400. You don't need to carry this balance month over month. You can get either the Amazon or the B&H card and just pay it off at the end of the month so that you're actually getting the items interest-free. As far as delivery goes, I would say that B&H has the edge. Here in Vermont, which is not that far from New York, New Jersey, I get most things overnight for free. I think it's minimum 2-day delivery in most places in the US from B&H. Amazon, on the other hand, used to be 2-day Prime guaranteed. You had to pay for Prime to get that. And now it's 3, 4, 5 days, usually between 5 and 7 days for me. So if I order it on Monday, I'll get it on Friday. Whereas my R80, I think I bought it 3 p.m. on a Wednesday from B&H. I got it at 12 on the Thursday. I got it overnight. B&H always uses FedEx, whereas Amazon will send it USPS, UPS, FedEx, and there's no real telling. B&H certainly has the edge in delivery. As far as service goes, I would again say that B&H has the edge. There are real people that you can talk to there that are trained by the manufacturer on how to troubleshoot items. There's I think this is B&H's biggest advantage, actually. Amazon has nothing like this where you can actually talk to a live human and try and get help for whatever it is issue you're dealing with. It might be compatibility, it might be troubleshooting, whatever. Being able to talk to a live human who understands how things work is, big advantage. The last thing I'll say And not that many people know about this, but a lot of camera companies have lease options, which means, and these are often 0%. So if you go through an authorized dealer like B&H, you can get a camera from Canon, which is what I have experience in, for no money down. And then you pay it off, say my C200, I paid off or paid the lease, I leased it for $200 for 30 months, something like that. And at the end of the lease, you pay $1 and then it becomes your camera. Now, this is a huge advantage to buying bigger things. Not only is it way cheaper than putting it on a credit card where you're paying interest, you're actually getting the camera for cheaper than it's worth because you're paying it off with future dollars. And because of inflation, the camera is actually cheaper than it would be in 3 years, 2 years' time. But this is something you can only do with certain authorized dealers, including B&H. Amazon doesn't offer this sort of service. And it's a pity because it really does make cameras, the cost of ownership of a camera, far, far less. The last thing I'll add is that B&H has a physical store, probably the biggest camera store in the world. You can go there, you can ask questions, you can see the gear, shoot with it, feel it in your hand, and then pick it up that day if you're in New York City. When I was growing up, my uncle was a photographer, and he actually would fly to America, to New York from Australia. It's 20-something hours, buy his camera gear at B&H, and then fly home. And because of the exchange rate, it was still cheaper than buying it in Australia. So B&H is a center worldwide for photographers and filmmakers to check out the gear that they have. Now, that doesn't mean I hate Amazon, right? There are a lot of things that you need for filmmaking that B&H doesn't carry. And it's great that we have Amazon at our fingertips to be able to, get props and accessories and consumables and all the little ties, all the other things you need to make filmmaking work. But as far as the camera gear itself goes, I buy most of my stuff at B&H for the reasons I discussed. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time.